The Perfect Encounter. The Seattle Art Gallery buzzed with the kind of energy that came from too many people pretending to understand abstract expressionism while drinking overpriced wine. Maya Torres stood before a massive canvas of violent red swirls, wondering if she was the only person who genuinely found it unsettling rather than profound. "It looks like anger, doesn't it?" a voice said beside her, low and thoughtful. "Like someone painted their rage and called it art." Maya turned to find a man studying the painting with the same skepticism she felt. He was striking, probably in his late 30s, with dark hair that fell slightly across his forehead, sharp cheekbones, and eyes the color of storm clouds. His charcoal suit was perfectly tailored, expensive without being ostentatious. "I was thinking it looks like someone spilled wine and charged $50,000 for the result," Maya replied before she could stop herself. His laugh was genuine, warm, transforming his serious face. "Thank God, I thought I was the only cynic here." He extended his hand. "Damon Cross." "Maya Torres." His handshake was firm, confident. "Wait, Damon Cross? As in Cross Quantum Technologies?" "Guilty, though I prefer to think of myself as the guy who's terrible at small talk and would rather discuss why we're all pretending to enjoy terrible art." His gray eyes studied her with flattering intensity. "What brings you to this particular exercise in social masochism?" "I'm a documentary filmmaker. My friend Yelena insisted networking at these events would help my career. So far, I've met 3 people who want to tell me about their cryptocurrency investments and one who asked if I do wedding videos." "Documentary films. That's actually interesting." Damon leaned against the wall, giving her his full attention in a way that made Maya's pulse quicken. "What kind of documentaries?" "Currently, whatever pays the bills. But my passion project is about displaced communities and climate migration. I've been filming in the Pacific Northwest, following families affected by wildfires and flooding." Maya paused, expecting the glazed look people usually got when she discussed her work. Instead, Damon's expression sharpened with genuine interest. "That's incredibly relevant. Climate displacement is going to be the defining crisis of our generation, but nobody wants to acknowledge the human cost." "Are you getting funding?" "Barely. I work as a video editor for corporate clients to pay rent while I film on weekends. It's fine. All artists struggle before they succeed, right?" "All artists struggle because we've built a system that undervalues meaningful work while rewarding shallow entertainment." Damon's voice carried conviction. "Your documentary sounds exactly like what we need more of. What would it take to finish it properly?" I laughed, assuming he was being polite. "About $200,000, a year of my time, and access to communities that don't always trust outsiders with cameras." "What if I could help with all 3? She blinked. "I'm sorry." "Cross Quantum has a foundation that funds projects at the intersection of technology and social impact. Climate migration definitely qualifies, and I have connections with indigenous communities and displaced populations through our sustainability initiatives. If your work is as good as your passion suggests, I'd like to support it." Maya stared at him, waiting for the catch. Men like Damon Cross don't just offer to fund struggling filmmakers they'd met 5 minutes ago. That's incredibly generous. "But why?" "Because meaningful work should be rewarded. Because I have resources I rather use to support something real than another tax write-off. Because—" He paused, something vulnerable entering his expression. "Because I started my company to change things, but somewhere along the way it became about profit margins and board meetings. Helping your documentary would remind me why I got into this business in the first place." Before Maya could respond, Yelena appeared, her eyes widening as she recognized Damon. "Maya,
I've been looking for— Oh my God, you're Damon Cross. I've read about your quantum computing breakthroughs. The AI ethics framework you developed is revolutionary. Thank you, Damon said politely, but his attention remained on Maya. Your friend has remarkable talent. I was just offering to fund her climate migration documentary. That's amazing! Yelena's enthusiasm was genuine, but she shot Maya a look that clearly said, "We're discussing this later. Maya, I hate to pull you away, but we should probably head out. Early editing session tomorrow, remember?" Maya nodded, suddenly reluctant to leave this strange, intense man who seemed genuinely interested in her work. Damon pulled out a business card, writing something on the back before handing it to her. "My private number. Call me this week. Let's discuss the documentary properly. Budget, timeline, what you need to make it exactly what you envision." His smile was warm, but something in his eyes held deeper intensity. "And maybe dinner? I'd like to hear more about your work in a setting that doesn't involve pretentious art and worse wine." "I'd like that," Maya heard herself say, her heart racing. That dinner led to coffee, which led to a weekend hiking in the Cascades, which led to 3 months of the most intense, intoxicating relationship Maya had ever experienced. Damon was unlike anyone she'd dated. He remembered everything she told him: her difficult childhood with a mother who'd abandoned her at birth, her complicated relationship with her adoptive family, her dreams of creating documentaries that mattered. He showed up at his tiny studio apartment with her favorite takeout when she was stressed about deadlines. He sent flowers on random Tuesdays with notes that made her cry happy tears. He introduced her to his world with surprising gentleness: private dinners where she met influential people who could advance her career, weekends at his cabin on San Juan Island, invitations to tech conferences where her documentary project gained serious attention and funding. 6 months into their relationship, during a quiet morning at his penthouse overlooking Elliott Bay, Maya awoke feeling nauseous. She'd been tired lately, attributed it to long filming days. But when the nausea persisted for a week, she couldn't ignore the possibility anymore. The pregnancy test sat on Damon's marble bathroom counter, showing 2 clear lines. Maya stared at it, her mind racing. They'd been careful. Mostly careful. There'd been that weekend at the cabin when passion had overridden caution, but she'd taken the morning after pill, hadn't she? "Maya," Damon's voice came from the bedroom. "Everything okay?" She picked up the test with shaking hands and walked out to find him sitting on the bed, already dressed in another perfect suit, preparing for a board meeting. When he saw the test, his expression went carefully blank. "I'm pregnant," Maya whispered. For exactly 3 seconds, something flickered across Damon's face, not shock, but calculation, as if he was solving a complex equation. Then his features arranged themselves into joy that felt almost rehearsed. "That's wonderful," he said, standing and crossing to her. "Maya, this is a sign. We're meant to build something real together." He pulled a small velvet box from his suit pocket, and Maya's breath caught. The diamond ring inside was stunning, tasteful, elegant, exactly her style. "Too perfect," some small voice whispered. "I was going to wait for the perfect moment, but this is it. This is fate telling us we're meant to be a family. Maya Torres, will you marry me?" Maya should have been ecstatic. Instead, she felt a strange chill watching Damon's face as he waited for her answer. His eyes held that same intensity from the gallery, but now it felt less like attraction and more like something she couldn't name. "Yes," Maya heard herself say, because she loved him, because she was carrying his child, because everything had been so perfect that questioning it seemed ungrateful. Damon's smile blazed with triumph as he slid the ring onto her finger. Maya didn't know then that every moment of their relationship had been meticulously planned. that Damon had identified her through genetic databases months before they accidentally met, that her pregnancy wasn't chance but careful calculation. She was about to learn that love could be manufactured and that the truth was far stranger than simple manipulation.
Manifesting visibly for the first time. I've been manipulated, lied to, treated like breeding stock. Damon owes me the truth, and Helix Genetics is going to learn they picked the wrong woman to exploit. Zara studied her for a long moment, then smiled with something like pride. You have your mother's fire. Very well. But Maya, you need to understand something else about Damon Cross. He's not fully human either. Maya's breath caught. What? His great-grandmother was celestial, one of the first to successfully interbreed with humans. His family line has been cultivated by Helix, specifically for their residual celestial genetics. They don't know this. Helix has hidden the true source of their superior cognitive abilities. Damon has dormant hybrid traits himself. That's why Helix wanted him to breed with someone carrying strong markers. They're trying to concentrate celestial genetics without understanding what they're really manipulating. So when he targeted me, he was being drawn to his quantum match. Celestials recognize each other on subconscious levels. His manipulation wasn't entirely calculated strategy. Part of him was responding to genetic recognition, cosmic compatibility he couldn't consciously identify. Zara's expression softened. It doesn't excuse what he did, but it means the connection you felt wasn't entirely fabricated. Quantum bonds don't lie, even when people do. Maya pressed her hands to her temples, overwhelmed. So I'm half alien, he's quarter alien, our baby will be 3/4 alien, and we're both pawns in some organization's eugenics program they don't even understand is based on extraterrestrial genetics? Essentially, yes. Welcome to the hidden reality, Maya Torres. Zara placed a hand on her shoulder. But you're not powerless. Your awakening makes you dangerous to Helix. They can't control what they don't understand. And if Damon learns the truth, if he awakens his own dormant abilities, together you might be strong enough to break free of their manipulation entirely. Or strong enough to destroy each other, Maya whispered. That too, Zara acknowledged. Which is why what happens next will determine not just your family's fate, but potentially the future of human celestial relations on Earth. Helix has kept our existence secret for decades, controlling hybrids through manipulation and fear. You and Damon could expose everything, or be consumed by the very system you're trying to escape. Maya looked down at her hands, watching purple light flicker across her skin. Then I guess we'd better get started. Where is Damon right now? In his study. He's been there all night, drinking and accessing Helix files. I think your discovery broke something in him. Genuine guilt he's not equipped to process. Zara paused. Be careful, Maya. He's still dangerous, even if he's also a victim of the same system that targeted you. So am I, Maya replied, feeling power surge through her awakening hybrid nature. And he's about to learn exactly how dangerous I can be. She walked out of the guest room, purple light trailing behind her like stardust, ready to confront the man who'd manipulated her heart and accidentally awakened something far more powerful.